Yes, welcome in. It's Hold My Banner. George Balecki back with you guys, filling in for my man, Travis Thomas. I got my boy Ante Campbell in with us too. We got a packed show for you guys today. Everything Celtics. Celtics off to a 4-0 run. And Ante, I wanted to go so many ways with my first banner back after being away for a little bit because T's back, and this is his thing. And you know what? But anyhow, what I wanted to get to was I wanted to bring the heat. And I wanted to think outside the box. I'm not ready to do that because the Celtics team, even at 4-0, I was like, Tatum, no. We'll get into the numbers, how they're shooting the three, how it ranks historically, and what it could mean for them in the postseason. We got to talk about it because it hasn't been visited yet. Wicked or kicked. Dwyane Wade statue. Not literally wicked or kicked, but we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about the undefeated teams throughout the NBA. Little Celtics-Lakers future. And Tay, the great host you are, my man, you bring back the good games like the Stop Me When You Hear. And we'll talk everything Celtics. It's Hold My Banner, bro. It's everything Celtics. They're 4-0. I legitimately think 14-0 easy.
Ooh.
Nuts.
We'll get into that. But before, look, I just got to say this. Boston and L.A. are up. New York City is down,
what are you
George.
Doing?
Look.
Jay, cut the show. I'm done with this. What are you doing to me, bro?
Hey, I'm just saying. Dodgers winning, Celtics winning. I'm a happy camper. Yankees, Knicks losing. That's just how it goes, GB. And then look, I'd be remiss to start this show without saying a happy retirement to Rudy Gay. Shout out to you. Long 17-year career. You were a hooper, killer at UConn, killer in the NBA. You retired with the Jazz, which brings me on to my other point. Shout out to Taylor Hendricks. Prayers up for you, bro. Rest up. Watching that leg injury was just so crazy to see. Now, I got to be honest with you. I wasn't watching that game live, but it's been all over my Twitter. And, man, that's scary to watch. So, shout out to Taylor Hendricks. Hopefully, he has a speedy recovery. And then the last possible thing, George, that I have to bring up is this news that we got. The starting 5 season 2 lineup is out. Jaylen Brown, KD, SGA, Tyrese Halliburton, and your boy, James Harden.
You know what episode I'm skipping? I'm interested to see Jimmy Harden in that. I am. I like the Jaylen Brown approach. So what I'm excited with that is everything you hear about Jaylen Brown behind the scenes, everything you hear about the intellectual that he is, the humanitarian that he is. Like starting 5, if they just hammer that home. Now this one, they're going to start following him now, right? Like this offseason into the season?
Yep.
Cool. I'm excited for them to follow him to the Middle East as well. You know why that's important to him. You know, it's why it's important to me. No, I'm serious, man. Like, even though he's Muslim, and that's why he went to the Middle East, that is a guy that is going to put the Arabic language up on a pedestal, that's going to put it on a bigger stage. And I think that's important because it's something that I deal with when I'm around my parents in public, when I speak it myself. There still is people hear Arabic and their eyes get wide. And as someone that grew up all the time, oh, you're Lebanese, so you're, and I go Catholic, and they feel more at ease. And I go, but if I was Muslim, it wouldn't matter.
Why does that matter?
Exactly. I'm excited to see that voyage. I'm excited to see how they spotlight Jaylen Brown. I think that's going to be fun. This season's been good, and it's the players of get me Anthony Edwards, get me all of it. The LeBron, the Jason Tatums, I'm whatever, but the JBs I'm excited for. Even the James Harden of someone they always talk about. He's so respected around the league. I'm excited to hear or actually see him behind the scenes, the work he puts in. Because, man, you talk to any NBA player, there's no one they respect more than James Harden, the work ethic he puts in.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all of those guys. I'm excited to see JB and his production of his shoe and his brand. Yeah. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see SGA. I mean, a guy we really don't see too much off the court. You know, we see a lot of them on the court.
I can't wait for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
You know, all of that stuff for sure. I'm excited about that. And, yeah, I think I'm excited to see about James Harden, too, because we know early in this season with Kawhi out, he's been the leader of that Clippers team. They've been guarding hard. They've been playing hard in every single game. I'm excited to see what the leadership, older, mature, veteran version of James Harden looks like through the eyes of Netflix.
Yeah, it's important, especially with him, like everything the Clippers are going through too.
Yep.
Well, we get some like Kawhi Leonard behind the scenes. I'm excited to see SGA of like, all right, last year was his breakout season. Now this is him being that guy. And he's no longer a secret of he is a top 5 player in the league. And then for Jaylen Brown, man, the offseason he put in, like he was great. He was terrific. Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Yeah.
He came back bigger, came back more yoked.
Yeah.
And, man, they're following him in the offseason, Ante.
Yep.
They better, and they need to. And they can make a whole episode out of it. When Derek White gets picked to be in the Olympics, I want minute, second by second, step by step following Jaylen Brown. I want to see his reaction. I want to hear the phone calls because that's a guy that's not shying away from it.
Yeah.
He goes, I won't. If I'm not with the Olympics and it's because I'm with Nike or Adidas, I'm at peace with it. I'm excited to see those scenes. Yeah. SGA is one of my favorite hoopers, but I'm excited to see Jaylen Brown this voyage he had this offseason for a multitude of reasons.
When you said Jaylen Brown earlier and you said Middle East, I thought you were talking about James Harden getting shipped off to the Middle East because I know you don't like him. You know what I mean? He's going to play basketball there. That's why I laughed originally. Look, so I apologize for that.
Oh,
George.
No, you're good, my man. I know. That's what I thought you missed.
I heard James Harden. I was like, oh, man. But you were talking about JB.
I was talking about did I say James Harden by accident?
I don't know. We're good.
We're good. I'll say this. As much as he's Jimmy Harden to me because he comes up short on the playoffs, man.
Yes.
You got the dough. Jimmy Harden, go to the Middle East. It'll be one of the best experiences of your life.
Yeah.
Just know the right place to go.
Hey, I'm going to ask you. That's for sure. I'm going to ask you. No.
Oh, you're...
No, I'm saying I'm asking you where the best places to go are. We'll not go. We'll not visit. It's not right now, but just in general.
If where everything's good, man, it's Beirut, Lebanon. It was a Paris to the Middle East. You could go south of France. You could go south Italy. You go to Beirut. It's the same. But right now, obviously, we know the political climate there is way too complex.
Yeah.
But you go to certain places across the Middle East. It's just a beautiful. It's a different experience. If you got the bankroll like James Harden, I mean, you got to go to the United Emirates. You got to go to Abu Dhabi. You have to go to the UAB because that's. Literally, they took a desert and they made a city out of it, and I cannot comprehend what that's like. I would say go there if you're going to go out to the Middle East. You'd like it, Tay. You'd like it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
We'll do it. Hey, Tay, I'll bring you back in a minute. As I was alluding to our listeners, that I'm back on Hold My Banner, and with this Celtics off to this 4-0 start, coming on the heels of that win they had over the Bucks with that second half comeback, we need to take a moment. And you're going to hear and see plenty of it, and I don't think it's going to go away, but to pay attention to what the Celtics are doing beyond the arc. Because what they did was attempt 43 threes a night and make 16 and a half a night on their way to being a top 10 efficient offense, a top 10 team all time in the NBA, on their way to running with ease to the NBA Finals. It's been 4 games, but their clip this year is 50 attempted threes a night. They're making 21 and a half, 21-22. And they're shooting an NBA best. Of course, both of those lead the NBA. 43% from 3. And get this, 52% of their points are coming from the 3 ball. Go last season, 41% from the 3. 40% in the playoffs, so they kept it up. They have 52% more of half their scoring coming from the 3, and they have a top 5 perimeter defense where they're only allowing their opponents to make 10 or 11 threes a night. The second the Celtics step into your building, they are 12 threes better than you. The second they step in their building, they have a 36-point lead. Sit on that. And because what I want to think on this is, the one team I have to compare them to is the Warriors, and that's the 4-time world champion Warriors, 2015, 2017, 2018. Let's start with 2015. They were getting 29% of their scoring from 3. They got up to 33% in the playoffs. 2017, 33% from 3. Dropped down by 1%. 2018, 30% of their points from 3, and they kept that up through the postseason. 2022, 39% of their points from 3, 38% in the playoffs. So what clip they were hitting at, all but one, they were able to sustain it or were off by 1%. All but one of those playoff runs, which makes it insane to think about. And when they're only allowing 10 threes a night and they're hitting 12 on their end, think about the starting 5. Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. All can guard the 1 through 5. All can hit the 3. And then we see a performance, they'll go what Payton Pritchard did. 8 makes from deep. 10 total makes in the game on a game where Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 1 made 3. And they still find a way to win. With the Bucks leading at half, they held them to 3 for 12 from 3. In the second half, they went 8 for 19 from deep. Again, that's being plus 15 on the outside. what this team is doing right now is going to have repercussions for years to come. We saw it after their first run. And my boy Ante called it anytime we talked about the playoffs. He would say, if the Celtics put it together and if they win, watch what the rest of the league does. Elite athletic wings, two-way players, but shooting the three, and everyone's going to start chucking up 40-plus threes a night. So the Celtics took that and said, forget it. We're going to go 50-plus attempts a night. They were at a ridiculous clip. 43 a night. Is it sustainable? And it is three or die is the way they live, but they're thriving, and they're going to keep it up. And when you think of their guys playing 30 or more minutes a night, the defensive ratings they have, Jaylen Brown, 107, Derek White, 108, Drew Holiday, 109, Jason Tatum, 109, all drawing really tough matchups. So those D ratings may not jump off the page at you, but think about everything they're doing at the other end. Jaylen Brown averaging 26 points per game, Derek White, 18, Drew Holiday, 13, Jason Tatum, 28 and a half a night. They have two all-pro caliber wings in the Jays, which no one's going to shy away from. They have a Jason Tatum that's off to a run, fixing his shot to be back into the MVP conversation after putting together a ridiculous run to the finals where Jaylen Brown was a consistent player while Jason Tatum was the playmaker. And they bring back the core, and they don't have Kristaps Porzingis yet, but they're putting up these numbers. And what got me thinking on this one is Doc Rivers after the game said this: the Celtics are a made basketball team now. They play without any obstacles. Winning that title has taken them to another level. You can feel it when they play. They have complete trust in the past. They trust each other. No one in the league does it better than them right now. Winning that title has taken them to another level. They play without any obstacles. We talked about it before the season, and Tay and I were fresh off Media Day for the Celtics. And what you heard was a team that wasn't shying away from, it's all about winning another. It's all about doing it again. It's all about embracing that process and owning it. When Joe Mazzulla had them show up for 82 games and had them show up all throughout the postseason, it impressed me. But then you see them getting ready for the season. Jaylen Brown came back more yoked than he was before, which says a lot. Jason Tatum, more calm, more poised, more motivated because of what happened in the Olympics to him. But everyone, from the Drew Holidays to the Kristaps Porzingises to the Derek Whites to the Xavier Tillmans, buying in, elevating their game, to the Payton Pritchards, buying in and elevating their game. They play without any obstacles because the biggest obstacle year after year for the Celtics was themselves. Let's go back to when they get to the finals the first time with this sort of nucleus. With Ime Udoka as a head coach, with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown starting to ascend, and they're up on the Warriors, and then they falter in 6. Then they can't even get past the Heat in the following postseason, where the pressure and the moment and the stage was too much. They're playing loose. They're playing confident. They're playing with, they see the process and the investment that they make in the offseason and the regular season pays back with putting them into immortality, which it did by them getting that 18th banner, which it did by them playing at the level that they did. They're going to do it again. So what does this all mean, right? And you know me, I've been vocal. They're repeating. I don't see anyone stopping them. They were healthy. They cruised through the playoffs. Even with Porzingis going down, they still found a way to win. And matched up with a very tough Dallas Mavericks team, defensively, what they bring, where they can hit anyone. They have the physicality. They have the elite guys on the outside, and they can score at an insane clip but can win with defense. Like, no one can match that. So what does this mean? Does taking 53s a night and hitting at a 43% clip, is that sustainable by them? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be shocked if they prove me wrong. Do they repeat as champions? I think so. It'll be hard, really hard, but I think they do it. Even with the East loading up, even with the Thunder loading up, even with the Timberwolves loading up, and the increased pressure and, the spotlight that's under this team. But they did it with bigger pressure, with more anxiety in. Now it's loose. Now it's confidence. It's not Steve Kerr. It's Joe Mazzulla. It's not Steph and Clay. It's Tatum and Brown. How the Warriors changed how basketball was played, especially for Steph Curry with someone at his size. We see guys that are built like NBA players, 6'8 plus, that are built like insane athletes. Look at Jaylen Brown, who can jump through the roof, but keep up on the outside with insane footwork with anyone in the league. Like Steph and the Warriors changed how basketball is played. Tatum and the Celtics are doing the same. Look at how the rest of the NBA responded. Look at that start that they got off to. For them to be doing what they're doing, 50 attempted threes a night and 52% of their scoring coming from the long ball, and then they suffocate the opposition on the other end from the outside like they just did to the Bucks, the confidence that they have, the ability, the depth, even with the injuries they're handed, and a team that's not done adding. While all the talk about the Celtics, really the only falter you could give them this offseason is who's going to be the next owner. Inside that building, none of them care, because inside of that building, they all got better. And inside that building, they're still buying in. This Celtics team will have an impact on the game for years and years and years to come. We've seen it this offseason, but it's from the game on down, the trickle-down effect, how teams are built, how superstars approach a game, and what people get paid for. And as someone that didn't fully enjoy that last run last season, because I was waiting for the shoe to drop, I was waiting for the Jays of the past to pull through. I embrace greatness. I love to enjoy greatness. I will never hate on greatness. You sit back, you watch the season, and you enjoy it. And you enjoy this postseason. Try and pick the holes where you can. You can't. They don't have any. Guys will get injured. Additions will be made at the deadline. They will have their hiccups. But this is a team that's rolling, more locked in than any other one in the league. And while the Knicks make great additions like Karl Anthony Towns, but even with their core, they're trying to figure themselves out. While the 76ers don't know when they'll get Joel Embiid and Paul George, and while the Thunder and the Timberwolves do the same, try to figure out new additions, try to figure out rotations, and while they're off to good starts, try to figure out new. The Celtics brought their core back. They didn't change a damn thing about their offense. They only got better. They have the same head coach, the same GM, the same front office. And like we saw on night 1 and we saw on night 4 for them, and I think what we're going to see on night 50 in 82, which is insane to think about, Joe Mazzulla has come out and he said it. I will attempt these many threes a game. No matter what, you put up 42 a night. Because more nights than not, more games than not in a 7-game series, we are going to hit at a 44% or better clip. They're coming out and doing that now, but they up the scoring and they're making the heat even hotter on the defensive end. Like we've seen with the Warriors, and I pointed out their 4 title runs because that's all we can compare it to, of a team with the shooting depth, with the offensive depth, and what they do. And mind you, one key stat I left off, 52% of their points are coming from threes. They're making 21.5 a night. They are assisting on 66% of made threes. You watch it, and you think, is this real? You watch it, and you go, can it be sustainable? Because of that. And what Doc Rivers says, they trust each other. They're unlocked. There are no obstacles. The ball leaves their hand. It comes back around. They shoot the 3. They know it's going in. And if it doesn't, they get the stops at the other end. Enjoy this Celtics team. Enjoy this run. If you're Boston, I know you're going to. If you're outside of it, you're going to hate it. And I get it. But understand the history we could potentially, and I'm confident in, see unfold in front of us on another run. Let's bring my boy Ante in. Because, Tay, you were at the game. I'm dual screening the other night. Celtics, Bucks on my laptop.
Yep.
World Series Game 3 on my TV. We're not going to talk about the TV. We're going to talk about what was on my laptop. And you pointed out to me what Doc was saying as well, like his comments on a Payton Pritchard and the layers that brings. But as I said to you before we opened, like I wanted to bring something to you outside of the box.
Yeah.
But I had to talk about their greatness from 3. But when I saw these numbers, because I'm watching it, and then you look at it, and how the calculations are there, and what they're doing at insane clip, man, it's one of those, can this be done? Yeah. We saw the Warriors do it. They kept their core. Celtics are keeping their core. And Jason Tatum with a better shot. I don't know if it's sustainable at the level, but for them to ride this wave to another NBA championship, I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I think you're right. Here's my thing. I'm sitting here as you're talking. I'm looking up my notes because I didn't know what you were going to say. And I feel like this Celtics team is better than the 2015 Warriors. And okay. I'm going to tell you why this version, not last year's version, this year's version is.
That's fine.
And it's off of this. Joe Mazzulla came out and said he wants fighting back in the NBA. And I saw Tatum in the first half of a basketball game get mad and get a technical in that game against the Bucks. And then on top of that, I saw a team that you said 3 or bust, right? But the difference is between last year and this year, they're taking them about 8 more a game through 4 games so far. We'll see if they continue that pace. I'm sure they won't. It'll probably come back down to 42 attempts instead of 50 like you were talking about. But when they're not taking the 3, last year's team settle for mid-ranges, settle for floaters from time to time. No, against Giannis, against Brook Lopez, who are two good shot blockers at the rim. They were putting their head down, being physical, and JB talked about it in the press conference. He's going to be doing a lot of flexing this year because he wants to be physically dominant, and I think his teammates want to be physically dominant. They're not settling for the mid-range nearly as much. They're leaning more into analytics. Whether you hate it or not, they're 4-0.
Bro.
They're winning.
Don't hate. Enjoy it.
Enjoy this. It's going to be a great team. This team right now, 2024, 2025 Celtics can be, from what I've seen so far, better than the 2015 Warriors. Now, that's a Warriors team with Harrison Barnes, so don't come at me with that KD did it. No. Harrison Barnes, unanimous MVP Steph. Steph still would be the best player on the court if these two teams matched up.
Yeah.
But 2, 3, shoot, maybe even the 4th guy might be Celtics over Clay. That's just honest. The 2 and 3 are for sure. I will take Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as they are today over that 2015 Clay any day. Sorry, Klay Thompson.
Well, what do we get both ends of the floor, man? And that's where I wanted to match up, is when you look at what JB and JT do. They have no problem being the defenders, flexing on guys. And I love you bring up that aggressiveness because that popped off the screen at me too. What did I hate about this team last year in the playoffs? And I've said it to you time and time again. When against the Pacers, I remember JT got the ball. I go, that's exactly what they want. Sidestep 3, and that's where you get to settle. Now, if that sidestep 3 was consistently going in, I'd go, that's not what they want. That's a Steph effect, right?
100%.
He improved his game, but to get more aggressive on the other end. And that's fine. High percentage shots. Shoot a heck of a ton of threes and go to the cup because they're bigger, they're stronger, they're more athletic than everyone else they're going to see. And that's what makes it insane. And even with a guy like Xavier Tillman, because Kristaps Porzingis isn't playing yet.
No,
Tillman playing 16, 17 minutes a night. His plus minus hovering around 10. Not really scoring, but he's shooting a career high 33% from deep. Not great, but those are the minutes he played when he was with the Grizzlies. When they made that addition last season, I go, that's a guy that played significant minutes. That's a guy that understands a role on a team. It's the buy-in. It's what they have last season. They're playing loose, and they're getting better. And that's why the Warriors teams is all you can compare them to, because who would shoot and have the God-given ability of the shooters like they have? Now, Steph and Clay put in a lot of work, but eventually to the point you're like, this is unfair. For them to sustain it throughout those 4 runs, and even in 2015, they got better. But really to sustain it year after year after year to all 4 titles, that's what impressed me. Where, like you said, this is a ridiculous amount of shots. It's a ridiculous amount of makes. But even if it drops down, the percentage of points they're getting from it, even if that drops down, none of those Warrior teams are better than 40%. The Celtics are at 52% of their points coming from the 3 right now. When does water find its level? At 45%? And who's going to keep up because they have it at the other end?
100%. Look, the way I see it is this Celtics team has 6 dudes who can give you 30. 6 dudes who can give you 30 on any night. Going into that Bucks game, they started off struggling. Derek White scores the first 7 points for them because he can do that. You know what I mean? You got Pritchard with the 28 points off the bench, 8 threes. 8 threes. Tied a record for the Celtics coming off the bench from Eddie House. That's how long ago it was. Eddie House had that record. You know what I'm saying? So this team is ready. This team is the best team in the league, and they continuously show it every single night. Now, a guy that used to be the best player in the league, he was a Finals MVP, Dwyane Wade. Got a statue and a street name, George. Can we take a look at this statue, Jay?
Let's do it.
Can we look at it, man? I want to talk to George about this. So, look, this is our statue right here. You see, we got in the top left, we got him, just the statue. Then we got D Wade posing with this statue. And then we got him holding up his street sign at the bottom. GB, how do you feel about this statue for D Wade?
It's the right moment, and I know we'll get into that. The face, man. That is like Dwyane Wade, peak Dwyane Wade. This is my house, protecting his house, ridiculous shot, taking over a game like he did at the height of his powers when he was with the Heat. That is a young Dwyane Wade. Why are we making him 70 years old in this statue? Why are we making him look? And I've seen the memes go around. The trainer from Rocky, when Apollo's about to get killed, he goes, throw the damn towel. Or the actor that plays Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne, with a beard. Why are we doing this? That's what I don't get, is a process of making these statues. I mean, there had to have been a molding or something. Yeah. And someone looks at it. I'm sure Dwyane Wade saw it maybe. To sign off on it. Now, bro, he was a gentleman about this. He defended the artist. He said, you know, who else has a statue? Is there depiction of me? I love the way he did it.
Yeah.
Miami. This is the biggest legend in your franchise history. The Heat, you got to do better than this, bro.
You do. But to be fair, he did sign off on it. I did see the pictures of him on his Instagram story a couple, months ago, whatever, signing off on it. And out to his credit and to the Heat's credit, before it goes to that meddling process or whatever they do to make the statue, it looked good. I saw it myself. It looked good.
Yeah.
And now when I see it, like you said, the memes are flowing. I've had him up on the side. Like, he looks like Lawrence Fishburne, no question about that. My thing is just like, I'm with D Wade. You have the quote, I think, ready, where he's talking about how, hey, like, make fun of it. You know what I mean? Make fun of me. Do whatever you want. I love that people are talking about us. D Wade is a guy that understands that all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
People are going to go there and see it. People are going to go there and make fun of it. I'll tell you a personal story about a statue here in Boston. When I first moved here, I was excited to see the embrace between Dr. Martin Luther King and his wife, Coretta Scott King.
Oh, God, yeah.
When that first came out, I moved out here maybe a couple months after that statue had got unveiled, and the internet was letting everybody have it. But guess what? One of the first things I did when I moved to Boston was go and see that statue because it was a meme. It was this. It was that. And it got me to go see it. If it wasn't a meme all the way out in Los Angeles where I was at the time, I would never even have heard of it, would never have even cared, would never even went down to the comments to see it. But because it was such a big moment in American folklore history, I had to pull up. And so I agree with D Wade. I'm so glad that he got this moment and that people are enjoying having fun with his statue. And this is a guy who's having fun with it as well, which makes it perfect.
He said it don't need to look like me. It's the artistic version of a moment that happened that we're trying to cement. He's respecting the artist. He's grateful. Man, Dwyane Wade's a gentleman. That's what I see on this one. And good on him, not dumping on the artist. Yeah. I do love the Dwyane Wade Boulevard. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Street named after it. You know what's big? So I live in Charlestown.
Yeah.
And they just finished renovating that bridge, finally. I love it.
Yep.
And they named it the Bill Russell Bridge. Brilliant.
Yep.
It's taking you to TD Garden. It connects Charlestown to the north end. It connects Charlestown to downtown Boston. And when you're driving on that bridge or walking, you cannot avoid it. It's in your face in the most beautiful way possible. TD Garden.
Yep.
They named it the Bill Russell Bridge. I think of the David Ortiz Bridge, which is just some overpass taking you from Back Bay over the Pike.
Yep.
Do right. I like this Dwyane Wade Boulevard. Like Boston did right by Bill Russell.
Yep.
Miami did right by Dwyane Wade. I love the street name. I am a sucker for that. Naming a bridge after someone. If it's the right bridge. Yeah. Boston did right by Bill Russell, the legend. Miami's doing right by Dwyane Wade here.
100%. And you know what I like? I like being right, George. Jay, can we play that clip of us predicting this moment, please? Against the Pistons, so it's going to be a win for the Miami Heat. And with that, I wanted to know, what do you think, what moment should the statue embody of D Wade?
Yep. This statue should be him grabbing the rebound in the 06 finals from the Jason Terry missed three and about to chuck the ball up and celebrate. I think that's what the statue should be.
I would like that. I actually kind of like that moment from you, but I think this one's a no-brainer for me personally. Like you said, let's go back to March 9th, 2009, George, against the Chicago Bulls. Ben Gordon, who put up 43 points. D Wade to cap off a 48-point night. Gets the steal from John Salmas. Runs down the court. Off one leg.
Right.
From three. Straight cash in double overtime. And gets on the stanchion. And this is the moment that they have to have up there. He says, This is my house.
He just did it like this.
This is my house. That in front of the stadium with the quote, "This is my house," and his arms pointing down like this is the statue.
My man.
Hey, we called it, man. We called it. So I love that. I love that we called that. Another moment that we actually called. So that was September 17th that you just heard from us.
Yeah.
This is September 18th. Just a day later,
we were
just on fire with all of our takes. We called this Asia and Bam first moment together out in public. Roll the clip. When does Asia Wilson and Bam Adebayo like go official and do a hard launch for everyone in the world to know for sure they're together? Do you have a date in mind?
Her third when she wins the MVP for this season.
Yeah.
When she's getting that award, getting that honor. Oh, boom, I got you. No. The first game after that MVP,
yeah,
when she takes the trophy to Vegas and before the playoffs start, they have that moment. Asia Wilson, 2024 WNBA MVP.
Yeah.
Crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Hoists up the trophy, shows it off.
Yeah.
Camera cuts. Bam Adebayo. Sitting courtside, clapping.
I'm marking that statue night for D Wade. You know, obviously the city's gonna be on fire out there in Miami. Bam's gonna be ready to celebrate a win after they smack the Pistons, having fun. They're gonna be turning up like D Wade's back in 2004. Man, I think that's kind of the time where I'm looking like, yeah, or 2006. Yeah, man, they're gonna be out there. He's gonna be fun, and he's gonna want to show off his woman for sure.
My man. Hit the nail on the head. It's like when you're playing someone in pickup and they're just on fire no matter how well you defend them. You put your hands up like, what can I do? My man, you're on fire with that one.
Yeah.
Called it to a T.
Yep, I said smack the Pistons. They won by 8. But, you know, I was right. It was a win all around.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care about the game outcome. You called it exactly when they do the hard launch.
And here's the tweet to show off Bam and Asia at the D-Wade statue ceremony. Look, they look great together. You know, you got the paparazzi out. Heat Nation got the tweet up for us. So, yeah, shout out to them, man. And shout out to their love.
And shout out to that little victory lap by you too, man. Count the dubs. We always catch L's day to day. Count those W's. I like it, my man.
Yeah. All right, what about this, GB? I wanted to ask you. There's a couple of teams in the NBA that are still undefeated to today. Mm-hmm. The teams are the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Thunder. Now, the Thunder are 3-0. The other two teams are 4-0. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask you, what team do you think will stay undefeated the longest?
The longest. I like it. So, obviously, the Celtics and Thunder are in different tiers than the Cavaliers. The Cavs actually have that tough stretch of against the Magic, at the Bucks, and then a back-to-back against Milwaukee, away in Milwaukee, then home in Cleveland. I think they catch that L from the Magic, so it takes them out. Then even think of the Thunder. Spurs, at Blazers, at Clippers, Magic, then Nuggets. Mm-hmm. I think they catch an L in one of their first 5 games. This Celtics stretch, it also does them favors. Now, Indiana's defense has been better on the outside.
Yeah.
Pacers, Hornets, Hawks, Warriors, who aren't your same Warriors, Nets, Bucks, who we just saw them, Hawks, Nets, Raptors, Cavs, Wizards, Timberwolves, Clippers. Maybe they lose to the Timberwolves on November 24th. Maybe I'm drinking too much Kool-Aid, but I have this team going off to a 12-0 start.
Yeah, I think you are drinking a little too much of the Kool-Aid that's going on.
I missed out on it last year.
Yeah, you did. And I think you're drinking a little bit too much because, yeah, mark off the Cavs, Lakers, Magic, Bucks. One of those 3 teams are knocking them off sometime soon, right? But the Celtics have that back-to-back. After playing the Pacers on Wednesday, they have to go and play that back-to-back in Charlotte against the Hornets, an improved Charlotte Hornets team that has looked a lot better, has Trey Mann now balling for them off the bench as well. I think this Hornets team gets probably the second end of that back-to-back. I won't say the first one. So that puts me at November 2nd for them. The Thunder do have a tough stretch as well where they go on the road. They have to face the Blazers. I'm not worried about that. The Clippers team is the team that makes me nervous as well. Their team has been better defensively than we've given them credit for with Kendrick Nunn doing what he's doing, and then obviously DJJ doing what he does on the defensive end. That Clippers team has been actually pretty good on the defensive end without Kawhi. I'm nervous about that for the Thunder, but I think the Thunder end up getting through that, and then the Spurs. I mean, it's Wemby, and what else? They've been losing. They're going to keep losing. Who cares? So I'm going to give the Thunder the nod. I hear you with your Celtics nod.
Look, that back-to-back's tough, especially after the Celtics get that first dub against the Hornets. The whole coaching staff's like, all right, let's look ahead to the Hawks. We don't got to scout him. You just saw him. I don't see the Celtics team doing a letdown, and that's such an easy path. But on the road at Charlotte, back-to-back, it'll be interesting, man.
Yeah. I just believe. I think LaMelo's going to get one, at least one. You know what I mean? He's going to carry him to one. All right, what about this? I got to ask you about the Lakers and the Celtics now.
Let's go.
The reason that I am bringing this up, GB,
let me hear it.
Is that LeBron James. I got the tweet here. I'm bringing it up. Give me a second, George. He has reached the finals every single season that he has started 2-0, and that's courtesy of Stat Mamba and Legion Hoops.
This is fishy.
So I wanted to know, what's more likely, the Lakers to make the final or the Celtics to miss it?
So this is finals. It's not playoffs.
Not the playoffs.
I'm going to go Celtics to miss the finals.
Okay.
Which I put at like a 4% chance.
Okay.
So highly unlikely.
Yes.
But this Lakers team has like a 2% chance of making the playoffs, let alone make it to the finals. I should put the Lakers at like 0.02% to make the finals. But the Celtics to miss it is a higher probability. Because the Lakers aren't even going to get into the playoffs. That should be 0%. So it's more likely the Celtics miss the finals than the Lakers make the finals because the Lakers aren't going to be in the postseason, Tay.
You're crazy about that. Now, after the Lakers are 3-1 and seeing what JJ has done for this team so far with his coaching and his late game plays, I mean, the plays that he's running are beautiful. I wish I had the time to break it down with you, but I don't. He's magnifico. You know what I mean? He's just doing what he does. But look, here's where I'm going. Lakers to make the finals. And I'm telling you this, because it has nothing to do with JJ and LeBron and AD being the star that he is, or even Bronny James and his Call of Duty skin or whatever. It has nothing to do with the Los Angeles Lakers and everything to do with the Celtics. The Celtics are making the finals. I predicted them as a champion, and I'm going to keep rolling with that. Them to miss the finals is banking on them not being healthy. And what information have they shown us, even with KP being out, that they're going to miss the finals and that they're not going to be healthy? None. JB always plays. JT always plays. Drew always plays. D. White always plays.
Yeah.
Pritchard always plays. Horford always plays. I could keep running through the whole roster. They always play except for KP. And without them, they look great. They're making the finals, no doubt about it.
Yeah. I don't think there's no way the Celtics. Like that Lakers percentage of them making the finals, like 0.01%. Got to go that one.
Yeah, no way.
Talking about Payton Pritchard, you were telling me you got something good for him today.
Yeah, I do. So we got to stop me win with Payton Pritchard, okay? So stop me when you hear a better player than Payton Pritchard.
Okay. Current Payton Pritchard. Right now, 16 points per game.
Yep.
50% from three.
Yep.
Coming in cold off the bench, can drop 5 from deep, let alone minimum any game. All right, cool.
Yep.
I need to set the expectations. All right, let me get it.
So here we're going to start with a guy who is running mate with him for Sixth Man of the Year. Actually, they're tied in odds for most of the sports books. Miles McBride.
I'm good on Miles McBride.
Okay. What about Jeremy Lin?
Oh my God.
Yeah, Linsanity.
Yeah, this is peak Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, I guess I had to give peak Jeremy Lin.
Stop.
Ooh.
It's Jeremy Lin at his peak.
Ooh.
Single-handedly winning games for the New York Knicks over your Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Like going shot for shot. What? Yeah.
Is Jeremy Lin retired?
Wait.
Is he an active player?
No, he's retired. All right, hold on. Let me fact check myself.
Right. What about this guy? Buddy Hield.
Ooh. Buddy Hield in this Celtics existence.
Yes.
But Pritchard right now.
Yeah.
I'll pass on Hield. Give me Pritchard.
Okay. Oh. All right. What about this guy? I know you like him a lot. Dante DiVincenzo.
Damn. Pritch does a lot off the dribble, let alone the catch and shoot, where Dante DiVincenzo is a big, needs his space, and he can't really shoot if there's guys in his vicinity. So I would take Pritchard over Dante DiVincenzo.
Okay. All right. You're getting up there now. What about Marcus Smart?
Oh.
He's been rough. But But I want to know how much you believe in Marcus Smart as a player. His scoring has not been there. But his defense and his passing and his leadership have all been there.
I loved Marcus Smart towards the end where he understood like only Jeremy Lin's playing in New Taipei for the Kings. So I'm taking NBA Jeremy Lin. When he realized, like, hey, if I don't shoot more than 13 times a game, that's like the best thing for the team. I thought that was a great Marcus Smart.
Yep.
And he was a guy defensively can do so much for a team. He's still putting up ridiculous stats too for the Grizz, being a leader.
Yes. How much do you value his defense and his leadership?
That's a defensive player of the year. Value it. Give me Marcus Smart.
Okay. He's stopping me. All right, last couple here. Malik Monk, who is the favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year.
I would go Malik Monk over Jeremy Lin.
Okay, over Payton Pritchard.
Over Payton Pritchard,
yes.
sorry.
You still got Jeremy Lin on the
I still got Jeremy Lin up there above anyone.
Yeah, Lin said it. He was that crazy. I can't blame you. All right, what about this guy? The guy who won it last year, Naz Reid.
Oh, stop. Naz Reid.
Okay.
Naz Reid over Pritchard.
And then the easiest one of all time, the greatest six man, or one of all time, Jamal Crawford.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go Manu Ginobili.
No.
Stop. Jamal Crawford.
Okay.
Jay Crossover is a man. So I met him 2022 finals, right? No. 2023 when they lost to the Heat in the playoffs. But I'm like walking to the court just do my post-game hits.
Yeah.
He's standing right there, and I just go, hey, Jamal, what's up? And George's like, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, I just wanted to say growing up, always loved watching you play. You had one of the sickest bags. I was just basically like, not gassing him up, but I'm giving him his flowers. Like, always enjoy watching you play. Just want to say what's up. It's cool to see you here. And I was asking, I'm like, I did point out too, like, I love that we still see clips pop up all the time of you playing on like amateur runs or just pick up hoops. Like, you doing that? He's like, yeah, I'm actually going to Seattle. I'm catching a flight tonight. I got a pro-am tomorrow. I'll be playing in some tournament. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Hey, great to meet you. And he goes, you want to get a pick? And I was like, yeah, can you take it? Because you're obviously taller. Jay Crossover, the man. Awesome dude, bro.
Yeah, he is. He is an awesome dude.
He's a hooper. He loves basketball.
He does.
Pure hooper. Just loves the game.
Yeah, that's all he is, man. All right, now the Celtics talk is going to continue. We talked about Tyrese Halliburton earlier. We talked about Payton Pritchard because he lit up the offense the other night. Celtics at Pacers. Yeah. Now, that's not the matchup because if you ask me, Payton Pritchard's better than Tyrese Halliburton right now. And honestly, Evan Turner said he's mid. He said Tyrese Halliburton is mid on Twitter. So, you know, the narrative is going around.
You and I are the Tyrese Halliburton truthers. Ever since last year in the playoffs, we are the truthers.
Yeah, so look, I got to ask you, can you help me preview this game? Can I get a score prediction? What are you thinking for the Celtics-Pacers game?
Celtics just beat the Bucks 119-108. 126-104 Celtics win. They're just going to score a ton. They'll let it up at the end. Pacers can score. Two good perimeter defenses in this, but like the Pacers have been awful. And they've been struggling. And it's just like the sheer image of Drew Holiday staring at Tyrese Halliburton and him taking the basketball and just giving it to him.
Yeah.
I can't get that out of my head in the playoffs. And the low IQ plays he made in a clutch game. Injuries be damned, Pacers fans, because I know you guys hate me. Injuries be damned. The IQ, the awful decisions made by Tyrese Halliburton, who's supposed to run that offense, I don't see it. Siakam, fully on that team, fully in that system, does change a few things. But Celtics beat the Pacers handily, man. I'm not worried about Indy.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Indy either. I'm going to go 132 Celtics to 117 Pacers. Nice. And I just think because these two teams who shoot a lot of threes, the pace is going to be up because the Celtics do speed the pace up on the offensive end. They get up shots pretty quickly, and the Pacers on the offensive end do the same. They get a lot of looks, a lot of clean looks early and often. This would be the Pacers' highest offensive output this season, but they've played a lot of teams that play slow, played some teams that play good defense like the Celtics. Not that the Celtics don't play good defense. They played the Magic, put up 114 or 15 against them.
Yeah, it's a good test.
I just think that the pace is going to be higher, so the Celtics are going to end up putting up 132 because we know the Pacers don't guard anything.
Yep.
And then on the other end, the Pacers are going to score as they normally do, and they're just not going to have enough to get the stops.
Hey, shout out our boy Paolo Banchero, 50 burger, man. That was fun to watch, too. A lot of him going tough to the rim, not settling.
Yeah, before that World Series game started, I was watching that. So I watched the first 37 points, and, man, he was
37 in the first half.
He was lighting them up, man. Chet thought he was going to have 60. It was crazy. It was crazy.
That was sick to watch. Hey, speaking of good games to watch, I know we got some good ones Wednesday and Thursday, my man.
Yeah, we do. What are some NBA League Pass games you think people should pay attention to on Wednesday or Thursday? It's up to you.
Wednesday, Spurs, OKC, man. I mean, you're going to watch SGA. You're going to want to watch one of the best teams in the NBA. But it's Wemby versus Chet.
Yep.
It's Wemby versus SGA. It's Greg Popovich against Daigneault, like two great coaches. The Thunder are going to win that, but you're watching the Alien and you're watching the, I don't even know what SGA's nickname is.
Yeah.
Those are going to be great
Canadian.
hoopers. I'm locked in. I can't wait to watch that game.
The Maple. That's what I'm going to call them. The Maple for Canada. Yeah, that's a great one, though. The best team in the West versus Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Simple
Look,
as
come on.
that. You shouldn't need anything else. The game that I wanted to point out on Wednesday was Pistons at 76ers, and it's because of this. I am a basketball purist.
Yep.
I'm a basketball nerd.
Yep.
I love to watch guys who are need to be there to elevate their teams. And these two guys, Tyrese Maxey and Cade Cunningham, are the two guys that need to score points in order for their teams to get wins. So it's going to be a mano and mano matchup. I'm expecting 30 at least out of both of these dudes.
I like this.
A lot of back and forth, a lot of chatter because, I mean, they don't really talk too much, but I think it might get a little chippy just because of that back and forth that goes on between them. It's going to be exciting, willing basketball where guys are playing desperation basketball. Pacers have been playing a lot of teams close. They're losing. We know that. But they've been competitive, which is better than what they've been last year. A 76ers team that has been struggling without two of their stars. This one could be a fun matchup.
I like that call a lot, my man. Pistons, Sixers, like two teams that got to be scrappy because it's Tyrese Halliburton and a bunch of guys. And then for the Pistons, I mean, that's such a young team that wants to keep proving themselves. I love watching Cade Cunningham play. I want him to be healthy. I want him to be back. I want him to be an all-star. Like I've loved Cade Cunningham going back to his Oklahoma State days.
Yep.
Let's see if we can do that. That's a good game to watch too, man.
It is.
A lot of good hoopers. No matter how bad some teams can be, so many good hoopers in the league. So deep with talent. That's what makes the NBA great. Night in, night out, my man.
Night in, night out.
Hey, Tay, appreciate you having me back on Banner, my man. I know I'll be back on later this week. Always fun talking Celtics. Make sure to catch new episodes of Hold My Banner wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime. Please like, subscribe, download, rate, and review. Go to Nesson YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button as well. Leave us comments. Leave us thumbs ups. Tweet at us, Tay and myself, with any questions you got. Hey, email us as well. You could do the chat at Nesson.com. Leave a voicemail, 617-790-0928 with Celtics takes, questions on the league, questions on life, man. We'll take it here on Banner because as you can see, we're a worldwide podcast taking you everywhere from the Middle East to Oklahoma, Stillwater, Oklahoma, of course, to Boston, Massachusetts. He's Ante Campbell. I'm George Bilecki, filling in for Travis Thomas. Appreciate you guys making us a part of your day. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.